Check out the brand new How to Become a Better Looking Man course by using the links below. Okay guys, this is going to be a rare quick video from me. I'm going to talk about why high level men get up early. We often hear this, don't we? You need to wake up early, hustle and grind life. Oh, the 5 a.m. club. And it's like, yeah, cool, but why? Right, and when presented with that question of why, people always go, because that's what successful people do, but they don't know why they do it. And me and my old mentor used to have this discussion, because he used to get up at in the afternoon basically, and he used to work till 5 in the morning, and I'd get up at 5 a.m. and I'd go to the gym and do all this other stuff. And he used to say to me, but it doesn't matter, we're still working the same day, same hours per day, I'm just doing it at a different time to you, and I do all my best work at night, that's just who I am. And I was like, yeah, I can't argue with that. I cannot argue with that. I don't really see a problem with it, okay? Until time started to pass. And there were certain things that I picked up on. And number one, he had low testosterone because he's living outside of his circadian rhythm. He didn't look too good. He always looked tired and skin wasn't great. Just always kind of greasy looking and that was just from his lifestyle, okay? There's nothing wrong with the guy himself. It was just lifestyle. It's just natural. It's not just him. That's naturally what's going to happen when you live that sort of way. When you drink Red Bull energy drinks, Monster energy drinks 24/7, your body's going to be out of sync. Your testosterone is going to be low. You're just going to feel like shit. Do you know what I mean? Your dick's not going to work and stuff like that. And I could just see negatives coming. And then his kind of motivation for work just dwindled. He started working less hours because his mental stamina, his kind of physical stamina just went down the drain. So instead of working 12-hour days, he now cut that down to 4 or 5, and then he was at the pub drinking, right? And that sort of lifestyle just weighed him down, so that didn't help. Number two, meetings. He had a meeting at 2 p.m. He'd struggle to get up and make it. He'd be rushing, and when he turned up, he didn't look his best. He wasn't sharp. His mental clarity wasn't quite there. And when you start piecing all those little bits together, you go, okay, yeah, now I can figure this out. Now I can see why getting up early is so important. And for me, I would split it into 2 categories. I'd say for personal care, so to be a high level man, it's not just success. It's not just owning a massive business and being wealthy. Is looking good, being well dressed, being well groomed, skincare routine, going to the gym every morning for an hour, hour and a half, whatever it might be, and having time to do that. So if you've got to start work at 9 a.m., 9 to 5 job, your business, whatever it might be, which is most of the working world, you simply can't get up at 8 o'clock if you want to hit the gym, eat proper food, because that's part of the gym routine. You've got to cook it and eat it or whatever, or prepare it if it's just porridge oats or something like that. You've got to do a skincare routine. You've got to get dressed properly, hygiene routine. You've got to look your best. For example, with me, I've got to shave my SMP every 2-3 days. Otherwise, it gets overgrown in these areas and makes me look like shit. So there's certain things that you need to stay on top of. If I were to get up at 8, I wouldn't be able to make it for 9. If I were to get up at 7, I probably wouldn't be able to make that for 9. 6 o'clock is the first time where you could probably do all of that shit and still make it for 9. Okay, and this is why most high-level guys get up at 5 a.m. because they've got a lot of personal pride. They're proud of who they are. They like to get up early and get these boxes ticked. Otherwise, there's no other time in the day to do it. Okay, so that's number one, to look your best, to have time to do it. It's almost like women. Women get up 3 hours before they should because they've got to do hair, makeup, whatever. They just want to present themselves as a certain person to the world, and I'm fully on board with that. I think it's fantastic. I could always quote the old Tom Ford quote, which is along the lines of presenting your best self to the world is a show of respect to yourself and those around you. I think that's a real good way to live your life, to look your best. You don't know what women you're going to bump into that day. I think it's a good thing to do, okay? You just don't know what's going to happen. It's just a good thing to do, okay? And then secondly, you want to be in line with the working world, the living world, if you would. For a business sense, you want to be in line with the working world, okay? Now, some people are working on they're working with Asian companies. Okay, well, you need to change your times around. That makes sense. I understand that. But for most people, their businesses, what they do, how they operate, you want to be in line with the 9 to 5 people because that's where most of the world operates. And not only that, but when you work certain jobs, if you've ever worked a night job or you've done out-of-hours shifts, they call it unsociable hours. And you get paid extra for those unsociable hours. Well, why would you want to be staying up late, getting up late, and then getting ready and whatever, and it's like 3 p.m.? Because that's not in sync with the world. Okay, while you're working, everyone else is out enjoying themselves, having fun. While you're working, everyone else is asleep. When you're asleep, everyone else is awake, living life. Like, I don't get that. Like, why would you not want to be in sync with the rest of the world? You know, when certain sports events are happening and the whole world's enjoying it, don't you want to be there? Don't you want to be in the thick of it? Like, don't you want to be up at 9 a.m., like as in like wash, dress, ready, hit the gym, looking your best, 9 a.m. Saturday morning, and you're in a cafe somewhere in the center of New York, and you're talking to people and you're getting involved, and don't you want that? Like, I don't understand how people don't want that. Now, in order to do that, to be in the thick of it, to be where the world's at, to be where the center of shit's happening, well, you're going to have to get up at like 5, 6 a.m. in order to get your gym routine in the morning, in order to do everything else, and then fit in with the social life and all the stuff that's going on in the world. That's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to be ahead of the game. Okay, which brings me on to my final point, which is to be ahead of the game. Because I saw that with my old mentor. He was never ready in time. He was never like on his toes. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've watched the world this morning. I know what's going on. I'm up to date with like headlines and the world news, and like, we should make this investment and this is going well and this person just merged with this person. Like, to know all that in the morning is such a gift. Okay, to wake up 5 a.m., eat some food, go to the gym, come back, get ready, skincare routine, you know, shave, whatever it might be. Just make yourself look immaculate, the best version of yourself you possibly can. To sit there from like 8 o'clock to 8:30 and like catch up on world news, see what's going on. Let's say you're a crypto investor, to do a little bit of like, what would it be, like research into like what's going on in that day, the news within crypto itself. Just gather as much information as possible, have a phone call with somebody who's also in the industry. What do you know, what's going on? That sort of thing is going to help, okay? To get your morning coffee, to sit there and actually prepare yourself, and then 9 on the dot, bang, you start. And you're ahead of the game. You're not chasing the day. Have you ever turned up to work late? I've done that multiple times, okay? Turned up to work at like 9:05 instead of getting there on time. And for the whole rest of the day, like, you're like catching up, you're chasing. You're like, shit, I've got that to do and that to do. I've got to skip lunch. Like, you're just all over the place. It's not nice. Like, it's better to be sat at your desk at like 7:30, start early, so that when it does get to lunch, or when it does get to the end of the day, you have the option of going home early. You're like, I've ticked all my boxes. My time management's been amazing. So in my opinion, that is why you get up early if you want to be a high value man. I mean, yeah, to be ahead of the game. Yeah, to be like in line with the working world and the living world. I love all that shit. But I think most importantly, if you're serious about looking good, fitness journey, if you want to combine money with like appearance, which I think, what's the point in being worth like 2 billion if you're just some fat slob? Kind of a waste of like potential, right? So I think if you want to combine all that together, which you should, well, then you should be getting up at like 5, 6 a.m. so that you've got an hour to hit the gym. You've got an hour for like eating and an hour for like skincare, shaving, making sure you look your best, hygiene, showering, whatever it might be, putting on some really nice clothes and actually making an effort. And then not like rushing to work and panicking and sweat, like, so that you're composed and body language is good and you just feel relaxed. Like, all of this shit is important to the character and the man that you present the world to, or yourself to the world. Like, people always say that, get up at 5 a.m. Why? Give me a fucking reason. Well, there's the reasons, guys, okay? So the next time somebody says it and they're trying to promote it, ask them why. If they don't have a reason why, then fuck them, because they're probably just running some little Instagram page, 5 a.m. club, but they don't actually have any success themselves. So in my opinion, with my experience, that is why you should get up early. I've done both. They're the major differences for me. Check out the brand new How to Become a Better Looking Man course by using the links below.